Yeah, hello there. Yeah, hello there. Why can I hear myself? Think I fixed it? Yep, there we go. Fixed it. Problem solved. Okay. So I'm curious, does this change, or is this literally just the same video? It's the same video every time. I was checking whether that would recap where I'd gotten to in this game, or if it was always just the previous game. Okay, so let's see. What did we have in the inventory? Can you just use the... What does this thing do? Okay. Okay, so the ether onion you could theoretically make into something. Let's go ahead and see about making something here at the start of the stream. What all can I construct? Let's see here. I have plenty of stuff to do that. Oh, I see where the craftsmanship is. Okay. So yeah, I definitely have the stuff to make that. And then this should push me over the edge where I can craft the next level stuff. Let's see, what can I craft now? So I can craft that. And can I craft ethers? Oh, I can almost craft ethers. Okay, I just need to craft more junk. Let's see, could I craft that? Could. Let's see. Did I gain anything else? Revival earrings. Let's see here. Could craft that. Oh, that would use up everything I've got. Okay, that's not something I want to craft. So, yeah, I've got the stuff to craft that. Quetzalcoatl Talon. Okay. Hallian, thank you so much for using that Prime subscription on me. I know you only get one of those, and I really, really appreciate that. You now, of course, get the ad-free viewing. You get the emotes, which I've been slowly expanding bit by bit. You know, these are all of them. And thank you so much for that. Get to use my little waving cat emote that's based on... no, he's not around. I was going to show the actual cat. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I know it's just pure silence, but I'm kind of in a silent area digging through the menus. So I'm glad to know. So I want the opinion on that. So I used to use Enterito as the username for a long time. It did give me the option that I could get it changed to, and so that, and then a number. I wanted to see if I could just get Vita or, actually add the N, but at least at affiliate, I only had the option to do that. Do you think it would be worth it to do it just to basically get that extra bit there? I Oh, and hello Zelda. The hedgehog there. So I could try and see if there's any way I could contact Twitch, but I know when I had so maybe about a year ago, I actually got permanently banned due to the fact that my account was hacked. I have since changed a lot of stuff, but it was hacked and used as a spam bot, and so it got flagged and it was actually permanent banned. And I could not get in contact with literally anybody at Twitch. So I actually had to contact Amazon tech support and be like, "Hey, you guys own Twitch. Like it's all under the same umbrella. It's like Amazon, and then at least like Twitch and Whole Foods and all the other crap that's underneath it." So I was like, "Can you solve this?" And they gave me this, thing that was basically a appeal your ban that was nowhere on the website. So if you know a way to get in contact with Twitch at a affiliate level, I would absolutely love to change it. But and Zelda also gave me a subscription. That's awesome as well. So yeah, that right there is probably more money I've ever made off a stream. Yeah, I'll see if Kyle or like King of APOC knows, because they might know something that I don't, because they're at partner level, or at least Kyle is. I don't know about King of APOC, but I'm not sure if that's availability to the lower level that I'm at. But hopefully. And thank you both for using those Prime subs on me. I really, really appreciate that. But yeah, it took me literally a month of waiting, because they were like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna fix automatically. It's something where it's not even a big deal. We'll look into it." But I tried I tried checking everywhere on the Twitch website and could not find a single bit of information about how to directly contact somebody. So I was reminded when I just got my Discord account and was just about to abandon Hope 7, delete it, when I got an email saying they wrangle it back, and it's November 2015. So are you saying that they hacked it in November of 2015 and it just now was fixed, or you had issued back then? And also, yeah, thank you for coming in, Zelda. Yeah, I'm just working on the I'm basically going through and unlocking a bunch of like various stuff that's in this area. I had just completed a little symbol is Tyronian. I'm not sure how to say that. Oh, you opened the Discord in 2015. The hack was last year. Yeah, so I was actually hacked by somebody. No idea when or who. And it was honestly about a month or so that I was like, oh, of trying and trying and trying and trying. And finally I was just like, this is going nowhere. Let me go ahead and contact Amazon, because they own Twitch, because yeah, I was getting nowhere. So you're hanging out while assembling a 486 PC. So I actually had a 486 computer, but what the hell was the issue with it? Oh, I thought it was broken, but it was apparently something where what was the issue with that computer? Oh, that I have a. See if it's on camera. No, it's hidden. I had a VGA monitor hooked up to it, and going like, well, why the hell am I not getting any video out of it? And I tried the CPU that was originally in it, didn't get anything. Tried a different CPU, didn't get anything. Tried a third CPU, didn't get anything. And so I was like, all right, what the hell is wrong with this 486? And found out that the VGA monitors, plural, I had been trying to use for it, which were CRTs, somehow could not go low enough in resolution because this thing wanted to put out 640 by 480, and the monitors I was looking at apparently had a minimum resolution of 800 by 600, so they just weren't showing anything. And I had actually, like given up on it, and later found out when I hooked the monitor up to the Dreamcast to do something else, that the Dreamcast, which can do up at maximum 640 by 480 or 480p, however you want to look at it, it was also not doing anything. And so I tried this smaller, older, crappier CRT monitor, and it instantly worked. And so I'm 99% sure what happened was that I had been trying to use it on a computer. I had been trying to use it on a computer monitor that just couldn't go low enough, and therefore that monitor, or I'm sorry, that 486 was probably working just fine. And I had completely taken everything out. I'd removed all the disk drives. I'd, kind of given up on it. And I'm realizing I probably could have made that computer work. That being said, I do have a Pentium 1 that I would like to use instead for basically the same purpose. Because there's pretty much no games I can think of that I personally want to play that will only run at Windows 3.1 that wouldn't run also in either DOS or Windows 95. So I'm not as concerned with fixing that 486 at the moment, but maybe someday I'll come back to that project. But yeah, it's been one of those things that I have badly wanted to stream actual hardware computers in, similar way to that, somebody would take, a Super Nintendo and stream it. And yes, that Super Nintendo was the second model, and yes, it did have a FX Pack flash card stuck in it. I was using that for all my retro streaming of Super Nintendo until my RetroTink was having some sort of issue that I had to send it off to the creator to have it looked at, and it's still in his office. And as far as the Dreamcast only does 640 by 480, it will do either 240p or 480i or 480p, depending on what cord and what game you have hooked up to it, because there's a certain amount of them that refuse to run in 480p, and I think I only have one of them. But yeah, as far as the VGA, it will only do 480p officially. You can trick it, basically, if you have the right sort of VGA box or SCART cable to do that. And so, yes, you always wanted to play around with a 486 and Windows 3.1, as you never experienced this. Windows 2000 was your first operating system you had worked with. The very first operating system that I remember working on, of course, my mom has what's called a K-Pro, and then there's like an NEC in the closet that, this is my closet, but if you were to like go pointing that way and go through that wall into the other room, there is an old NEC that is pre Windows in there. But as far as the earliest computer I remember actually actively using, it, of course, we still own it, is a 286, can't tell you the speed, that was running Windows 3.0, and or maybe it was, no, it was running 3.1. It was running 3.1, and you know, had a minuscule hard drive, no CD drive, and had the A and B floppy drives stuck into it. But yeah, as far as that computer was around when I was, well, it's still around, but was actually in heavy use up until I was probably about 6, and then my mom purchased a 486 that is probably inferior to the one that you're trying to work with, because I remember seeing the CPU you were trying to stick in it. But again, is still in the office, and she used one of those like things where you could get the, you know, the crappy kits that are not really a Pentium, but were kind of a Pentium, that would go into the 486 socket, but did not have all of the potential that you could get out of a real, you know, Pentium inside the true Pentium slot or socket or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, as far as that, we then went to a we actually never had a true Pentium. Pentium 1, that is. There's now a Pentium 1 in my possession, but it was not one that had any sort of childhood connection. It was just some junk computer that happened to be around. Let's see. Yeah, I don't need that. But as far as the the Pentium overdrive chips, I think it ran at like 83 megahertz, and I think it was actually a knockoff by Cyrix. Oh, I can get into level 3 now. Let's see here. So what do I get in level 3? Team up with your partner in time with an enemy's ranged attack to unleash a counter strike. Okay. What do we got? Increases Punisher mode counter damage. Then team up with a partner to unlock. Sorry, just reading skill stats. Yeah, I think I want this. But yeah, it was a Cyrix knockoff. It was not the AMD or the Intels that, you know, most people knew. And just letting you see a little bit more of this. But yeah, as far as that, we then skip to a Pentium 2. Probably I think that was a 266 or a 233, I'm not sure. And then my mom acquired I think it was a 333 or a 5, or it was either a 333 or maybe it was even a 500. Hello, Sideshow Paradox. Thank you for coming in. Let's see, who am I looking at? Tiva. What would be best for her? Yes, I want her ATB faster. And then what does this do up here? So yeah, back on that, and then that Pentium 2, when she purchased a faster Pentium 2, I was allowed to take all of the parts that were not needed to keep her current computer running, and use them as my first computer that was mine. And then from there, it was, we went to CompUSA, and at said CompUSA, we purchased a video card, some sort of sound card, probably like, you know, something from the, I think it was maybe like a Sound Blaster Live, like one of the live values or something like that. Or maybe it was a Hercules. And from there, used that and some video card that I think was like I think it was a Voodoo Banshee or something like that. And I had my own Pentium 2 that actually sat basically right where that shelf is. And I had this same desk actually, but it was over there. And I'm actually sitting where my bed was when I was a kid. And so yeah, that shelf over there was not there. That shelf was bought way, way, way later. But I had my computer over there where I played all sorts of things like Need for Speed, 1, 3, high stakes, and all sorts of stuff like that. And then that computer was replaced by a 1 gigahertz Pentium 3 equivalent Athlon that I bought from parts, or I bought as parts, I think with like the money that I got from I don't remember if that was birthday money or if I bought that using money that I got from my first job. But yeah, my mom had this weird quirk where she refused to ever let me have any sort of game system because she's like, it doesn't allow you to do homework or anything cool like that. It's only for video games. And so, yeah, it was just one of those things that I ended up emulating or playing PC ports of a lot of stuff because she had this thing of just like, if you give a shit about video games when you're 18 and you're, done with high school, then you can, have a console if you actually care. But you probably won't. But, if you care. And I proceeded to go literally the day after I graduated high school to Best Buy and purchased a Platinum GameCube because I looked at it and I went, okay, what has the most games that are interesting to me that I cannot play on the PC that are exclusive to that console because I can really only afford one. And so I went, okay, the Xbox has like Rally Sport Challenge and Jet Set Radio Future, and it's got Dead or Alive 3 and things like that. And I think like Blood Wake was kind of interesting to me as well. And I was, okay, those are the things that I can't play on the computer and seem to be exclusive to it. And then from there, I was like, all right, now what is on the PlayStation 2 that I want to play that is not also on the computer? And it's like Metal Gear Solid 3 and Final Fantasy X. And that was it. And yes, I know now there's literally thousands of games for the PlayStation 2 that I probably could have picked up. But I looked at it that way, and then I went, okay, with the GameCube, I had access to, Wind Waker and Resident Evil 1 and the upcoming Resident Evil 0 and Beautiful Joe and Wario World, or maybe it was WarioWare, I can't remember which came first, and Super Mario Sunshine and F-Zero X either was out or was coming out, 1080 Avalanche, Wind Waker, if I didn't say it, Luigi's Mansion, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, and I just was like bam, 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 bam. Oh yeah, and upcoming Resident Evil 4, and I was just like bam, 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 bam. GX, yeah, sorry, and just went through the entire list, and I was like, yeah, there's a lot more stuff on this console that I want that is not on the Xbox, is not on the computer, is not on the the PlayStation 2. And yes, I know some of those games later got ported to the PlayStation 2, but not at the time I purchased it. So yeah, that's what I was like, okay, this sounds like the right console. And then I looked at it and I was like, okay, they have purple, they have black, they have silver, and yes, I know it's called platinum and indigo and jet or something like that. But I looked at it and went, okay, I kind of want the purple. I don't want the black. I might want the silver. And then Best Buy had a promotion that said, if you purchase a platinum GameCube and an extra controller, you will get a demo disc, a memory card, and 2 games of your choice from this list. And the list had Resident Evil, Wind Waker, Smash Bros, Wave Race Blue Storm, and some sports games I didn't want. And I was just like, well, hell yeah. I buy a second controller, I get a free memory card and 2 free games and a demo disc. Pfft, I'll take the silver one. And I still have that silver GameCube. The orange one, and yes, you can see I'm wearing the orange shirt. I do now own the orange GameCube. But the orange GameCube was never released in the United States. I have the orange GameCube complete in box.
see Shinra hasn't got you yet. Seeing as you're here, mind help me with something? I'm Oliver, by the way, owner of this farm. Got fiend trouble. Every night it comes after my livestock. At least I assume a fiend's to blame. Think you could find and deal with it?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Dr. Pepper explosion. Just a sec. Shit. It's funny is I didn't shake that Dr. Pepper or anything. I don't know why it exploded. The teal and brick color used on the development cubes never made their way to retail. Yes, they did. Well, very, very close. So, if you look up the Tales of Symphonia limited edition GameCube released only in Japan, there was that one is kind of an emeraldy green, and then the there was some sort of Gundam one that was reddish. I can probably link them in my my Discord at some point. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean this bottle while talking. Yeah, Tails one is nice, but yeah, it's kind of mint green. Yeah, it's definitely not quite the same shade as you're referring to. I had the goal at one point of trying to get every color of GameCube controller, but I found some of them are ridiculously expensive. Let's see, is that cleaned? Yes, it is. So you got your game. You forgot about Zenable. I'm assuming that's the Gundam one I was talking about. So you got your GameCube for Christmas in 2003 with Sunshine and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Got Need for Speed Underground later on it. So I never owned Underground for the GameCube. I mean, I have it now, but I never owned it when it was current because I had it on Windows XP or 98, whichever one it was at the time. But yeah, shit, there's more of it on the carpet. Actually, I'm gonna go get a paper towel because this is a little too much. Just a sec. You had a PlayStation 2 at the time, but you were very much like your GameCube that some cousin had. Well, it's going to be a tiny bit sticky on the carpet as I don't have, enough to clean it up. But that should solve the issue to where I'm not standing in a puddle. There's someone flogging a complete in box Xeno GameCube modified Tails GameCube for $850. Yeah. The GameCube is one that I've not bothered to try and get any sort of flash thing for because I actually have almost all the discs I would want for GameCube. As, of course, I owned it when it was a current console, so I don't have as much urge to have, the one of the flash chips. I don't know what you would call it when it's an actual chip mod versus a flash cart, but yeah, it's one of those things that could probably do it, but by the time because I've got a orange Japanese GameCube, and back in that closet I've got a few Japanese games, and then I've got multiple US GameCubes. It would be something where I could play the real ones. So as far as the Swiss thing, what would be the advantage of getting the Xeno GameCube mod versus Swiss over a memory card, or however, or the serial port on the bottom, where you can jam the SD card up into the bottom of the GameCube and play it off that, where it's loading off serial port 2 or 1, whichever one's the unused one, that's the little one. Because I know there's the one that the modem goes into, there's the one that the Game Boy player goes into, and then there's the third one that goes into basically an unused chunk. But yeah, that's what I was thinking, and since I have a bunch of USA GameCubes, and some of them are a little more shitty than others, that would probably make the most sense. So yeah, you'd like to have a complete GameCube library one day, but GameCube games have gotten astronomically expensive. Japanese games are super cheap on Yahoo Auctions in Japan. Have you also heard of, and now we get to see if AutoMod will ban me sending links. I know it will ban everybody else from doing it, but let's see if it will let me do it. So, that is literally what I was about to post. Yes. Yeah, Surugaya, or Surugaya, or however the hell you actually pronounce it, does have free shipping almost all the time. Yeah, I was just checking whether I knew if you tried to post it, it would have, blocked your link. I had it set that way because I was getting a lot of spam bots, but I was checking if I could do it. Dr. Pepper still has a little bit of liquid on it. Yeah, as far as Surugaya, I bought multiple things. Like if you see right up there, there is a blue box with some like yellow boxes on top of it. In that stack is a Saturn arcade stick that I bought off Surugaya that was like $14, or maybe it was like $15. It was a little dirty, but it worked great. Let's see. I ended up buying a lot of controllers actually. I got this a spot. No, it's just still a little wet down there. I bought a multi-tap for the PC Engine, a mouse for the Super Famicom, which is the same as the Super Nintendo. I bought a Saturn mouse that was listed as used, but was legitimately new in box. And let's see, I bought a. I bought what is it called? Whatever the Japanese name of Ribbit King is, I forget off the top of my head. Because the Japanese GameCube version of Ribbit King was super, super cheap. Versus the USA version when I saw, Jank Jesus play that. And then, let's see, what else did I buy from there? I bought Riven, Magical Drop 3, I think. And Daytona USA, all for the Japanese Saturn. Yeah, Karo King Plus, I think is what it's called on the GameCube. So let's see here. Let me go a little higher, as I was still kind of focused on cleaning up the Dr. Pepper spill. So let's see here. The SD to SP2 is $8 from LaserBear, and it looks like the easiest way to get systems loaded in is Picoboot, which is used as a Raspberry Pi Pico. And then you also got a Wii U and 4 Mahjong sets from Surugaya. The Wii U was $45 and the system was piss easy to mod. Everyone should get one and a cheap USB hard drive plus a USB-Y cable because the Wii U underpowers it. Zelda's saying I've got stuff from Bai, such as Japanese N64 games. Sometimes as cheap as 50 yen. And then your Wii U was listed as body condition poor. All that was wrong was the sticks were slightly yellowed and there was a few light scratches. So yeah, I had something similar with, I think it's up on that shelf. Oh, no. I was going to tell a different story. So that blue arcade stick that's there, it's weird pointing when something's like 12 feet behind you. So this arcade stick that's in this blue box, I bought from a place in Alabama that was basically a returns and clearance depot. And it had... it was listed, and it's a Quanaba obsidian, or Quanaba, however you pronounce that, Qanba, obsidian, and it was listed as it's not unclaimed baggage. I have been there. Unclaimed baggage. I have bought other stuff from it, including this pair of headphones. Anyway, that Quanaba there was listed as broken, and then if you look on it, it said X button listed not functional. And so I go, okay, it's Sanwa parts. At most, I would need to rip the button out of there, throw it away, order new Sanwa, put it in, and then possibly I need to solder a wire from the board to it. But what happened on it is that in the Kanaba, it literally was just quick disconnects. And the positive wire on the X button's quick disconnect was just unplugged. It was as simple as crimp it a little tighter so it doesn't fall off and just pop it right back on the positive for the X button, and it worked perfectly. And yeah, these I don't know what they're called. They're a quick disconnect because, you know, Spade has this look to it, where this thing was like a slide-on connector, which had, you know, like a peg. You did that too. But yeah, it was exactly that, and I paid $45 when that stick I think had a MSRP of $200. Please don't overflow, Dr. Pepper. Okay, you're not. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it was $199.99, and I bought it for $44.99. And I went, okay, if this thing is shit, I use it for parts. If it works, cool. I've saved $160 because somebody doesn't know how to, you know, use the correct settings. So let's see here.
Not much, save the bastard's smart as hell. Managed to evade every trap I've set. Even hired a hunter to get rid of it, but that was a bust. The ecosystem here is something special.
Actually, I'm gonna go wash my hands. That Dr. Pepper got all over my left hand, and it's very sticky.
So out loud. One day, some like-minded folks came around. They put me in touch with Broden and Avalanche. Impressive the way that committee's able to connect people.
Also, the kitty's here. Yeah, that is the cat that is cartoon in that and an actual picture of in that.
Appreciate it. That your dog there? Mind if I pet him?
I don't, but he might.
Who's a good boy? It's you.
Okay, that's
Something
hilarious.
tells me he's not all bark. Hey, you know, your pup might be able to track the fiend's scent.
He's just seen as a dog.
Maybe try
Oh,
sniffing
he's gonna
around the
hate
scene of
that.
the crime.
Yeah, I've kept Red 13 in the party. He's been extremely useful. I do like that Aerith and Barrett actually are there and not just like off somewhere magically hiding, but they're just kind of like loitering a little bit further away. Also, the way Red rides his chocobo is frickin' hilarious. Yeah, I would love to actually have a statue of him on a chocobo because it looks ridiculous. That's the other thing that bothered you about Final Fantasy 12 is how the other party members disappeared into your pocket when on the non-battle overworld.